Good morning. I'd like to call the Finance Committee meeting to order. Roll call.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Present.
Mr. Dettle?
Present.
Mr. Hess? Ms. Polk?
Present.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Present.
Mr. Swanson?
Present.
Mr. Featherling?
Present.
Mr. Miller? Mr. Long?
Present.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Ms. Armour Earps? Mr. Lowy?
Present.
Mr. Wheeler? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand?
Present.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Can I have a motion to allow Mr. Swanson in via Zoom? Motion by Mr. Lowy, second by Mr. Alexander. All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Next up is public comment. I have one slip for public comment. You can speak at the back microphone. Herb Lillard.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Oh, thank you. I'm Herb Lillard, and I'm here to speak on behalf of the citizens of Pembroke Township and for the Pembroke Township Board, of which I'm a member. First, we're grateful for the Kankakee County Board's approval of the American Rescue Plan Resolution 2021-11-9424 in the amount of $156,855 for the critical repair of our infrastructure for our sewer overflow problems, where raw sewage was backing up into our residents' homes. An intergovernmental agreement was signed by the Kankakee County Board and the Pembroke Township Supervisor Samuel Payton on June 9th of 22. These funds were dispersed for the repair of our lift station, which was completed sometime this year. I don't remember the exact date. It was completed by Gas Voda and Associates, who won the bid for the project. Now, the Township Board and its citizens are concerned about an overage for this project in the amount of $18,509.54 for the project cost of repairs. The Pembroke Board was cautiously assured by the Kankakee County Board, and I think Mr. Wheeler cautiously assured us that things would be just fine, and our supervisor strongly assured us that if there were overages, everything would be fine. But as a board member and a member of the Finance Committee, we were noticing invoices coming in from different engineering firms. One, we started out with Piggish, who did it, and we thought that was the engineering firm that we would have to deal with, and they were paid. And we started receiving invoices from Mr. Erlingwine, who's an engineer who became an engineer for the project. The board didn't hire him, but he consistently worked on the project to our understanding. We're here, and you know, we're a cash-strapped community, not complaining. That's just the realization of what it is. These overages are really concerning, despite the assurances we received from our supervisor. And we're requesting that the Finance Committee would approve a modification of the resolution to include the cost of overages for the project. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next up is the approval of minutes from June 26, 2024. Motion to approve by Mr. Hunter, second by Mr. Featherling. Any addition or corrections? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. No presentations. Next up is the Finance Department with Mr. Steve McCarty. Good morning, Steve.
Nick asked if I was going to be long, so I better hurry up. Good morning. First up, we have our regular tax revenues, sales tax, etc. actually saw an increase in sales tax from prior year month, so we'll continue to watch that as we start heading into getting closer to the summer months of actual collection there. So I know the sheriff identified at criminal justice, you know, a change in inmate bed rental, and we're seeing that in these reports. So we're continuing to watch it as we're working on, you know, projections for FY24 and into the FY25 budget process. So it's an update. I don't know if there's any specific questions. I won't spend a lot of time since we do see this every month.
It looks like we stabilized, so that's good. Questions? Next up, cash flow update.
Opened up the entire year here to the end of November, just to show you know, potential trends. So we'll continue to update it. No other issues or concerns. So we're awaiting, you know, first distribution, which may end up. Well, Nick might have more information on that, whether it'll be July or August, but not that we're cash strapped waiting anxiously for it like we used to be, but we'll, you know, update the timing and stuff as that hits. So yeah, as you see in some of the inmate bed rental lines, sometimes that cash arrival actually ebbs and flows when it and what month it hits. So the consistency is there. It's just sometimes the actual receipts, you know, will cross months and stuff. So that's why there's a little bit of a up and down in that line, just for FYI. So I don't know if there's any questions on that.
Questions from the committee? Next up is claims recommended and not recommended for approval.
Before I jump into that, I also forgot to include, I actually jumped right by it when I had it in my packet. I included an article, some information just for your reading. Not that it's fun reading, but kind of the information that I look for, you know, when we're looking at estimates and stuff for these tax. So, you know, this document is put out, you know, trying to identify and, you know, give governments like us, you know, some kind of an indication of what we can expect, and you know, some of the economic factors that go into it. So yeah, every once in a while we get, you know, questions about that, which I understand, but some of this is, you know, some of these are hard to predict, and, you know, this is probably one of the best pieces of information that, you know, we look for to try to, you know, at least estimate, you know, what to expect. So I thought I'd include it just for informational purposes as well for everyone. Just wanted to explain why it was in there.
Ms. Weber.
Thank you. I didn't see anything too negative in that report. It was either as is or.
Yeah, no, the only thing I noticed, like PPRT, you know, as it's been going down, it went up because of COVID changes and delayed reporting, and now as it come down, where are we going back to normal? And it looks like it might go down a little bit more than, you know, original estimates because of current economic factors. But so yeah, it's, you know, I think we'll be stable. You know, we're just entering a different time economically. We can kind of see things, you know, starting to change and cool down from what we have been seeing, and whether that, you know, how far it'll change and stuff is yet to be seen, or if it, you know, if we're already stable. So we're watching it, you know, but I also wanted to share that information with you. So.
I could see how it could be helpful to you.
Yeah, you know, we're need a crystal ball, or, you know, I mean, it's a dartboard, you know, I mean, in a sense, sometimes when you're trying to figure out what the number should be for, you know, in the coming year. So
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, next up is claims recommended for approval, not for approval. Motion, Mr. Donald?
Motion to combine and approve.
Motion to combine and approve. Second by Mr. Lowy. Steve, read the claims into the record, please.
all right, then can we have a discussion about these?
See previous note. I think we did last month.
Did we actually vote on it last month?
No, it was just a discussion. Correct.
Anyway, I'll read these in, and
previous
maybe we
note
could have
was a
that as a discussion,
Yep.
because that's what most of these are. So the first one is Adrian Maiden, $700. State's attorney, Kankakee Area YMCA, $2,000. State's Attorney Suzette Jacob, $600. That is State's Attorney. Levi Mobile Barber, $337.50. State's Attorney claim. Alonzo Cephas, $600. State's Attorney claim. Bernetta, sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Bernetta Barnes, $600. State's Attorney claim. Charlotte McKenzie, $600. State's Attorney claim. James K. Smith, $600. Also the State's Attorney claim. Amazon Capital Services, $60.90. State's Attorney claim. Adrian Maiden, there's two of them actually, with different dates. Okay, $350. State's Attorney claim. And Dennis Wiley, $1,500. Also a State's Attorney claim. Kankakee Valley Park District, $5,400. State's Attorney claim. Cap Tees for $451.50. Also State's Attorney. Tinley Park Roller Rink for $500. State's Attorney. Sign Here for $2,675. That is a coroner claim. James Schreiner, $1,050. That is also a coroner claim. ICANN Regional Office of Education, $861.95. That is a coroner claim. And Cinema Home Solutions for $26,203. That is a ARPA lost revenue claim for the animal control facility.
And just so the committee knows, the State's Attorney claims are through grants, and they receive money through the school district. I talked to State's Attorney Rowe last night about it because I was a little concerned with how many claims were rejected. Again, no conversation was regarded to the State's Attorney's office from the auditor's office, just so this committee knows. Regarding the coroner, it's grants as well for the trailer for the hidden site, I think is called. Hidden in plain sight, thank you. Those are through grants as well. So no communication from the auditor's office to both of those offices per those elected officials. Any questions or comments from the committee? If not, we have a motion and a second to approve the claims. Roll call.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Donnell? Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Long?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy? Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Motion carries.
Do you want to discuss the see previous note comment that you wanted to have?
Yeah, in previous, for example, like the chairman signature ones, we've had some workforce ones that have been all approved, you know, for not only the current ones, but for future ones. The see previous note ones, I didn't know if the committee wanted to entertain that or not, or we potentially could have this amount every month, you know, for the next few months.
I'm going to leave it up to discussion for the committee if anybody. Mr. Featherling.
Request that it gets written out at least on one of the documents that we get instead of previous note on all of them. When I was looking through it on my computer, it's like
Microphone, please.
when I was looking through it on my computer, I thought I was missing something somewhere, but I couldn't get it back. So I don't know. You know, we can't read it usually, but I don't know who those initials are. That's not what we usually see? That
That's the chief deputy's initials.
Okay. Thanks.
Any other comments, direction regarding this? Do we want to continue to see previous notes? We've asked for it in writing. Nothing has happened regarding that as a committee per the request. Mr. Lowy.
Everybody knows I'm relatively new, so when they say see previous notes, I've never seen a note. I don't know how can I sit there and say no to a bill that needs to be paid? I don't know if a note said to sit there and ponder on why this is getting rejected. That makes sense?
Yeah.
So if we have new people coming in the committee or newly elected people coming in and all they ever see is see new notes or see previous notes, and they've never seen notes, well, I can't deny payment to someone that's provided a service to the county. or to worthy causes if I don't know what previous note led up to the rejection in the first place. That's a problem.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else first time? Second time, Mr. Featherling.
Well, I just like to see some communication. If somebody's working in the office there, we're paying them, obviously. They can't get out, they have a phone, right? We have phones in the building, right?
Yeah.
Mr. Rowe has a phone. Everybody has a phone. So this could all been taken care of before it even got here. Sorry.
All right, so does the committee want to see these claims that say previous note from here on out, or we just say we're good, don't bring this back to the committee? Head nod would be sufficient, I believe. Yes, yes, yes. Carol, are you on board with that?
It won't be long. It won't be long. So we should be able to endure another month. Yeah, but if there's a concern, it might trigger something. You know, so watchdogs aren't bad people.
Yeah, I agree.
I guess I just like to see something.
Yeah.
I guess I just like to see something other than previous notes because I've never seen a previous note.
Yeah.
So again, it comes down to is why did this get rejected? And I'd like to see why it got rejected.
All right, so majority of the committee believes that just let it go through. Four more times? I would like to see the claim still, personally. That's just me.
We'll keep bringing
Me too.
I would like
I
to see
wanna
them
see
still,
the
so,
claim.
we'll keep bringing them.
okay. No comment?
I was just
Mr.
saying,
Africano?
I was just saying, as the treasurer, we have 4 more months. We should see it every month.
And I agree.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, so
Amen.
we're going to allow the claims to continue come to this committee. Okay?
Yep.
All right. Next up is monthly claims that are in your packet. Can I have a motion to approve the monthly claims? Mr. Featherling? Parker with a second. Any highlights? It's pretty much, I didn't see anything that was
Yeah,
concerning with it.
Unless anybody's got any questions.
Any questions from the committee? Roll call.
Mr. Eckhoff?
Aye.
Mr. Dunnell?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Long? Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Motion carries.
Motion carries. Next up is amending resolution 2021-11-9424 for Pembroke Township lift station project to $175,322.42. Ms. Foster with the motion to approve.
Yes.
Motion to approve by Ms. Foster, second by Mr. Hunter. Mr. Hunter?
Yeah, a comment. When Sam Payton was here on this board, without a dissent, this particular matter was approved, and we were fully aware of some of the vicissitudes associated with the waste backups and the ditches and the homes and so forth. And the Chairman Wheeler, as well as County Board Member Foster, Early Wine, all those individuals were closely monitoring the activities, even when there was unreadiness by the Pembroke Township Board to pay the bills on this particular matter. We've always, to a person, had a commitment of this project, and since I've been here, we've always supported those needs of Pembroke Township.
Thank you, sir. Ms. Weber?
I just wonder if Steve would please tell me that number that's on the backup, the ledger. What is the 18,000 that you're adding on? 18?
Oh, yeah, you have a copy of the ledger of all the activity, of all the bills that add up to the amount, and it's an additional $18,467.42 from the original approved amount.
The reason I asked that question is because Mr. Lillard had a number of 18,509.54. So is the one that you're saying the most accurate because
I'm going off of our ledger, which is the actual transactions to the original. Not to
And with-
trying to disagree with anybody.
No.
We're just going off of what we had in our system.
Sure.
And what we're entering into the ARPA system now as far as reporting purposes.
and what you're agreeing is that with adding that 18,46742 to the previous approval of the 156,000 gets to the number on our agenda 175,32242.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for all that.
Thank you for the clarification. Any other comments or questions from the committee?
Will we get any more bills, or that project is finished, right?
It's my understanding that it's finished.
Okay. So we should pay any more bills. That's all I wanted to know.
There's other head shaking yes agreeing that it's finished. Correct. Yeah.
Ms. Foster.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a comment that a lot of times, the people who are working on the project, their information comes in, scatteredly, and that was the reason why this bill, we needed the additional $18,000 because there were some other bills that came in. So Mr. Payton communicated with me along with the chairman, Mr. Hunter, so we were aware of this, and that's why it's on the agenda.
Thank you.
And I think we're also letting Pembroke Township know that we're agreeing to let the ARPA funds cover the overages and that they won't have to pay anything out of their pocket for this.
Okay, that's good. Oh, okay.
Any other questions or comments from the committee?
Mm-mm.
If not, roll call.
Mr. Ecka?
Aye.
Mr. Dennell?
Aye.
Ms. Polk?
Aye.
Ms. Weber? Ms. Parker?
Aye.
Mr. Swanson?
Aye.
Mr. Featherling? Mr. Long?
Aye.
Mr. Hunter? Ms. Foster? Mr. Lowy?
Aye.
Mr. Alexander Hildebrand? Motion carries.
Motion carries. Anything else, Steve?
Just a quick overview, even though there's not a lot on the agenda today, that there's a lot going on behind the scenes. It's kind of a unique time in our office. We work within 4 different fiscal years all at the same time. And so right now we're finishing up the last part of fiscal year 23. We have to transition our information that's in our year-end audit report over for the comptroller into a different format on the comptroller's website. We're currently working on FY24 and projections. We are well underway with FY25 budget, and currently Chris is closing out WIOA funds with the state fiscal year. So we work within 4 fiscal years right now. So it's kind of unique, but I just thought I'd share there's a lot going on behind the scenes, even though we're not voting on or discussing a lot of other stuff. But there's a lot of information to come as we get it finished. So.
And I think I speak for the committee. We appreciate the work that you and Chris and everybody in your office does.
Thanks. Any other questions? All right.
Thank you, Steve. Next up is the Treasurer's Office. Mr. Africano, can I have a motion to combine and approve the Treasurer's Report? Motion by Mr. Featherling, second by Mr. Long. Ms. Polk, I'll give the second to. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Treasurer Africano.
Good morning, everyone. So, a few things. We have finished our first installment collection. And just, I think it's important to look back at some things. We noticed, we've been noticing it, but this year it was worse than it's ever been, which is that the Postal Service seems to get more unreliable every year. We've had documented instances of bills we've sent out and payments that have been sent in that have postmarks that are 2.5 weeks past the time we get them. So it's really getting to be amazing. And I'm hoping that the legislature starts talking about maybe doing electronic bills, some e-bills where we can send them out. And as you all know, it's getting more and more expensive to send anything out. Mm-hmm. So more expensive, less reliable. Classic government. Federal government, not county government. This was also the first collection where our tax collections were deposited in Midland States Bank. So we moved that tax collection account from First American to Midland. And I got to tell you, it was, they came and saw us last week to look back. We didn't have one issue with Midland States Bank. There was not one deposit that didn't balance. There was nothing. They handled it like it was no problem at all. And that's kudos to Midland, Mike O'Brien and his team. And as well, we've made some changes to sweep accounts there and sweep accounts at First American, and they've been, I was talking to Steve, they've just been seamless. So kudos to First American as well. I was telling Anita before the meeting, we have, for the second year in a row, a fluent Spanish speaker as a temporary employee for the summer collection. But it's getting more and more apparent that this building, at least on the first floor, I know we have one on the second floor, that we have to employ a fluent Spanish speaker at all times. It's you know, what happens a lot of times, you see they'll bring a child with them, maybe it's during the school year, and missing school because they need their child to interpret. So I think it's important for us to make sure that we continue to employ a fluent Spanish speaker and to educate the public that we have that. And so there's no need to be concerned.
Mr. Hunter.
De seguro, señor, necesitamos personas que hablan español.
Agreed.
Really, it is important, and that's a special skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And I would assume, I know that possessing those skills would require maybe additional compensation as well, too, I would think.
Well, I think, yeah, and there's been talk about that, but it's really interesting to watch because the Spanish speaker, both this year and last year, they already see the look in the eyes of the person that's coming up to the desk and understand and greet them in Spanish, and you know, it's seamless, and I think it makes everybody more comfortable, and it certainly makes everything flow better, and everybody knows that we have a growing Hispanic population, so more and more it'll be helpful. So I just wanted to point that out. And our summer help was recommended to us by First American Bank, and she's been incredible. Nice young woman. To date, we've collected $129 million, which is 56% of total collection. Which, I look back in the last 2 years, we're exactly where we've been. We're not seeing any delinquencies more or less than normal. And we're beginning distribution today, and barring any unforeseen complications or issues, it should be complete by end of day Friday. So all taxing districts, so we'll be sending out $129 million this week. What else do I have here? I want to take the opportunity to thank my staff for the incredible work they do. They do it with a smile on their face and good cheer, and it's important to me, and I think it's important to our county. Customer service sometimes in bureaucracies can be lacking, and just what I witnessed on the first floor is it's not lacking down there. So from me to Shakira, Diane, Sarah, Lorena, and Teresa, thank you very much. And lastly, I'll leave you with my favorite news of the day. In June, we collected $166,000 in interest, as opposed to last year about $2,200. So the sweep accounts that we set up at all, essentially Midland and First American, are doing exactly what we had hoped they'd do. Special fund, I was looking at the in and outs yesterday. It's funny because it shows negative balance because they sweep everything off and then a check gets presented. So it looks negative, but they just then grab the money from the sweep and pull it back and pay the bill. So it's absolutely seamless. It just happens automatically every single day. And obviously it's paying big dividends. So while rates are up, and not everybody likes rates being up, I get it, but while they're up, hopefully we can put some of this money away. So
Kudos to you and your office for thinking of that program, and to our partner Midland for that.
yeah, thank you for saying that. I guess I did have one last thing. Choices, which is a partial payment program, where you can pay your taxes kind of like a Christmas club, is getting bigger and bigger every year. So we're happy. We had a woman yesterday, can I pay my taxes for next year's start? They're like, no, it starts January 1, but it's working for people that they're able to chunk out their taxes. So I'd entertain any questions.
And you can also pay monthly and bi-weekly with that program, right?
Daily,
Yeah.
weekly, whatever you want. And you can
that-
come in and pay whatever you want.
And that helps us with the sweeping account with the interest too.
Absolutely. So, and 129 million at
5%.
5% is, obviously we can't keep it in longer than 30 days. Well, actually we do, because we keep it in from the first day it starts coming in, which is about 60 days. So as it builds, it gets bigger and bigger. But today we will empty the account, at least the tax collection account, and send it out. But special fund will still continue to roll. And that's making, that's way, well, first of all, it's liquid. So it's way better program for us than, say, even Illinois funds, because we don't have the luxury right now of having money that can't be liquid. We still need liquidity, so.
Anybody else first time for questions or comments? Mr.
I'd
Hunter?
like to
Yeah, Ms.
ask
Polk?
Hannah. Yes, I was wanting to know if you're looking for a Spanish speaking person, if maybe someone that's a Spanish major at Olivet could do like an internship in your office.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
And I will look into that starting today. Thank you, Dr. Polk.
Okay,
very
welcome.
good.
Anybody else first timers? Mr. Hunter?
Yeah, just really going back to our conversation, Nick, with respect to the need for the Spanish idioms. I was thinking, if I'm not mistaken, with the state, when they post some of those jobs, they post them with a Spanish-speaking option. So, and that kind of speaks to what I was saying to you about the special skill sets, that may elevate the salary for the position. So be thinking about that, and maybe you and Nita or the entire administration may want to look at that.
I will speak with Anita on that. And my Spanish speaker, while she's temporary and will be done mid-September, I'll do my best to try to find her a home here in the county.
You know what's really interesting is that you're taking a proactive approach, and I saw the chairman and you guys nodding your head in terms of when you think in terms of people who come through those doors every day. They don't look like you or me or whatever. I mean, we're international town, so to speak, in terms of
rock stars.
Yeah, well, but that's something to think about. In terms of, because they're different, like in Spain, for example, Catalonia is northern Spain, and Andalusia, sometimes with a lisp, is southern Spain. Different countries in South America, Central America as well, too, they speak different.
Right. And predominantly, I think, I can say here in Kankakee County, we require Mexican Spanish speakers. That's primarily what I think we see. So, not Barcelona.
That's right.
Any other comments or questions for the treasurer?
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other business for the committee? New or old business from the committee?
What do you mean?
Nothing from the auditor's office. A motion to adjourn. Motion by Mr. Lowy, second by Mr. Featherlane. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?